I the asshole for freaking out at my friends after they implied my husband was a predator? I, 27 female, and my husband, 29 male, have been together 10 years and married for 6. He's the love of my life. When we got together, he moved in with me and my family because I lived with my parents at the time in a very expensive city. I have 3 younger siblings, 16 female, 14 male, and 12 female. For all their 14th birthdays, I've always said I would take them on a trip. We took my sister on a trip for her 14th birthday, and now at the end of this month, we are taking my little brother. My husband and my brother get along better than anyone. Neither of them have a brother. My husband has a sister, and my brother is the only boy of 6 of us, so they gravitate towards each other, and it's incredibly sweet to see. It's like they were meant to be brothers. Last night, I was hanging out with a few of my friends, and I was talking about how we were planning on taking my brother on a trip. And I joked about how I would be the third wheeling the entire time because they get along so well. A few of my friends laughed, but one of them gave me a weird look. She said that sounded really weird and inappropriate if my husband is giving my younger brother more attention than me. I said no, it wasn't like that at all. They just get along well and it was a joke. Then the friend said it was inappropriate that my almost 30 husband is so close with my brother who is a minor and said she wouldn't be surprised if it was like a grooming situation and I'm blind to it. How sweet. What a wonderful friend. I freaked out, not gonna lie. I yelled at her, how dare she imply anything like that about my husband, who she has met and get along with. And she's the widow if she thinks my husband, who was the only boy, bonding with my younger brother, who is the only boy, is inappropriate. I left then and went home, and since then the group chat has been blowing up with people taking sides, either agreeing that it is kinda weird, and others saying she was way out of the line and needs to get over herself. I haven't told my husband because I don't want him to feel weird, but I'm starting to feel bad about how I handled it and thinking I overreacted and should have just left. Am I the asshole for not wanting to maintain a bond with my granddaughter after my daughter asked her uncle to walk her down the aisle at her wedding? For context, a month before my daughter married her husband, I filed for divorce from my wife. My wife had emotionally cheated on me for a couple of months, and I couldn't really get over it. What do you mean by emotionally cheated, I wonder? Now, while the timing wasn't great, I just did not want to be with my wife anymore, and I did not want to pretend to be happy with her. My wife and I informed our daughter, and we were honest about what happened since our daughter was an adult. However, my daughter was devastated and asked how could I do this to her just a month before her wedding. I can agree with her, to be honest. She said her mom clearly regretted what happened and was desperately trying hard to save the marriage. But my daughter said regardless she understood my decision to divorce. But why would I do it just a month before her wedding and the happiest day of her life? That is a good question. The whole thing was a mess, but my daughter did get over the shock after a week or so. But my daughter was really angry with me, and even though I was invited to the wedding, she withdrew the invitation of walking her down the aisle, and she asked her uncle to walk her down the aisle instead. It did really hurt me. But it was also my daughter's special day, so I didn't throw any fuss, and at the end of the day, I was happy for my daughter. She at least did the father-daughter dance with me. However, after the wedding, I gradually distanced myself from my daughter. And why would you do that? My daughter understood the reason for it. A year later, my daughter apologized for not asking me to walk her down the aisle. I told her it was okay, and there was no reason to apologize. But there was also no reason for us to have a bond anymore. What? My daughter thankfully understood my decision. It hurt me telling all these things because my daughter looked really sad, but it was time I put myself first. I'm speechless. A few months ago, my daughter gave birth to her first baby, and over the past couple of months, my daughter has been calling a lot and apologizing and crying because she really wants her daughter to have a bond with me. But the truth is, I just don't care. I feel emotionally detached. And at this stage of my life, I don't want to put effort into someone who betrayed me so badly. I will gladly read the wife's side of story.